Hello Spoon Nation and welcome to yet another wrestling review. Today we're doing the first WrestleMania that occurred while I became a wrestling fan with WrestleMania 33. I mean, I vaguely remember the card, knew it going in, because this was my first Mania. Everyone remembers their first Mania. At the time I was pretty sure I was watching Raw and SmackDown, but I couldn't watch pay-per-views because I didn't have the network at the time. And I wasn't going to go, oh hi Dad, can I have £50 to watch WrestleMania? No, you can't. Anyway, thank you for being here so far. You've stayed here for 40 seconds. Let's get into the review. The show starts instantly with the woman singing an American song. You gotta love it. Then there's a big old USA chant. Great. There's an opening package, as all manias have, probably. Maybe some of the early ones don't, but And I remember it's the roller coaster mania. Oh, do a flip. It is a decent package, to be fair. It shows you all the matches and whatever. Then the New Day come out because they're the host and be like, oh, hello, welcome to WrestleMania. Then we see who's there and all the different, announce teams that we have. Graves, Colin, Saxton. And then we have JBL, Michael Otunga, David Otunga, and Tom Phillips. And it's AJ Styles vs Shane McMahon opening WrestleMania. And it shows the insanity that wrestling had at the time, because that's Shane McMahon. He shouldn't be there, but there's a good package, to be fair. And it kind of shows their rivalry, which I vaguely remember. And yeah, it actually makes Shane look like he could be fighting AJ Styles credibly. Shane comes out, he says hello to his kids. He does his, that was bad for podcast listeners. I did his little dance. But Shane comes out with just a flurry of offense, and it's very fucking stiff. Like, I know the whole Shane can't work punches. He really can't. And AJ just clocks the shit out of him. Then there's a bit in the corner, and Shane hits this huge elbow, just black eye worthy. Then he's out on the ring, outside, and there's a massive baseball drop kick, and Shane goes over the announce desk. It just keeps being stiff, and AJ clubs Shane. It's like borderline hard to watch how stiff Shane is, but I think AJ's fine with it. And there's a calf crusher into a rear naked choke, and then an armbar, and then some roll up attempts. And then obviously it's nothing. Then there's a springboard 450 splash, which is basically a headbutt to a penis. To Shane's penis, obviously, Kane's friend. And then he puts him in a triangle choke, because, Shane McMahon is the best wrestler in the world. Shane kicks out of a Styles Clash. More stiff blows, the ref goes down, and then AJ gets some bins out. Looks like he's going for a bin coast to coast. He gets up, does his, the jump across, but Shane stands up and just launches the bin at him. Shane then does it, like a bin coast to coast, and it's an near fall. Shane puts AJ on the announce table to go and do his, elbow through it, but AJ moves out of the way and Shane just goes for it, because of course he does. Shane goes in, gets hit with a phenomenal forearm, but Shane reverses it into a very good DDT. And then he goes to do a shooting star press onto nothing. Like, he does a perfect, it's a very good shooting star press, but there's no one there. AJ hits the forearm, 1, 2, 3. Match is over. And to be honest, spoiler, probably one of the best matches on the card. I gave it 4 spoons out of 5. Then directly after that, this is on Netflix, there's just a Seth Rollins package. He's not next. And then they threaten to show us celebrities, but they don't actually do it for a bit. And then they say the next match is Kevin Owens Y2K. And then they show Lily Singh, who I don't know, but I googled it, and from what I found, she's a first phase YouTuber with the boyfriend challenge and all the types of people who shower. It's just what. And then we get the very good KO Jericho video package with the Festival of Friendship, which I remember watching and being like heartbroken. And then they start coming out. Jericho comes out with a big blow up of the list of Jericho, like a wacky wave ball arm thing, which is pretty cool. And it was a decent match. Some Hurricane Rana from Jericho, knees up. I've misspelt it here. Wonton bomb. There were lion salts. Jericho in the walls. KO cannonballs into the walls. It was reversed. Pop a power bomb into a code breaker. And they were a very, very good near fall where Owens gets just his one finger on the bottom rope. And then an apron power bomb for the finish. And KO is now the US champ. A fine match. Like, it should have been for the Universal title, shouldn't it? Or it should not have gone on second. Like, if you swap the first two matches around, it's very good. 3.5 spoons out of 5. And then there's an ad for a Tinashe song. And it's the four-way for the Raw fucking hell. The Raw women's title now. Sasha, Charlotte, Bayley, and Nia. No 4 horsewomen in Mania. The package is all about Sasha Charlotte feud, which I really liked at the time. I really liked that was the Falls Count Anywhere match on Raw. I think we main evented where Sasha used the guardrail in the bank statement on Charlotte. I really liked that. Bayley's out first, the Raw Women's Champion for some reason. And I think they make a reference to the fact they're going to do a Mae Young Classic, which is kind of cool. Champ's out first, but she has her big, woo things. Nia's out. I hope she doesn't break anyone, because this is before she left and came back. Like the current run she's on where she's not actually knackered anyone yet. Corey makes a reference to like the bloodline being like, oh yeah, Nia's related to The Rock. And that's just, undeliberate, but the tribal queen thing. Then Sasha's out and she's in a car, like in the back of a car, which is cool. And I'd only clocked it then. The walk to the ring is so long. I think later on JBL says it's like 78 yards. Too big. And I don't know why she's the only one that got a car. Well, I think Triple H gets his little trike later, which is fucking silly bollocks. But yeah. Flair's out last and just has the best entrance because, of course, she does, overshadowing literally everyone. And like Flair and Banks both got fireworks, and I got nothing. But Bayley got tube men, which she does anyway. And I comes in, she's kicking all the ass. She hits the Annihilator, which is now her finisher, but she doesn't even go to pin Bayley. Like the fucking splat thing she doesn't even go for a pin. It's a good rolling senton spot of Nia like throwing Charlotte off the apron to the other two ringside. Michael Cole literally said the hashtag women's title match. And I was like, this is why people make fun of us, Michael. Because you were made to say hashtag by Vince, weren't you? The other three team against Nia. They do a tease of doing a triple power bomb. Nia gets loads of moves, and then the 3 power bomber and an Annihilator. And this is where I see a plumpy sign in the crowd. I'm like, I know it's a touchy subject, Mr. Plumpier is at the moment. But it brought me back to when I first started being a wrestling fan with Adam versus Adam. Charlotte goes for natural selection, which Sasha reversed into a bank statement that they just get out of. Charlotte nearly takes the middle turnbuckle pad off. They keep saying it's exposed, but you can very much, the metal ring's there. Everyone can see that. But the turnbuckle's fairly on there. There's a huge chop to Charlotte from Banks. Banks statement reversed into a slingshot with Sasha hitting her face off the turnbuckle. And that's how she got eliminated. Just a turnbuckle shot to the face. Now, last two is Charlotte and Bayley. Charlotte smashed Bayley's knee onto the turnbuckle. Flair does a moonsault to no one. Elbow drop from Bayley. Gets a near spear. Like it's very close to a spear. It's like a spinebuster spear. From Charlotte puts in the figure 4. And then Charlotte just keeps on working Bayley's knees. But Bayley then hits Flair with a back body drop off the top rope. Hits the elbow to retain. And a pretty decent finish with a pretty decent match. 3 spoons out of 5. Graves, Cole, and Saxton. Now just being like, so happy to be in Orlando. And, it's the Hall of Fame package. Got DDP, rocking on his best, Teddy Long, Rick Rude, it's like family because he's dead, Phoenix, Kurt Angle, and the Warrior Award. They all come on the ramp, do a wave, but except for Kurt, they're already stood there with like generic theme, royal. But then DDP gets, you, not DDP, Kurt Angle gets his theme, like the you suck thing. And then we go backstage to see Seth Rollins' leg getting looked at by the medics. And we go to see the Raw Tag Title match. We see loads of ladders. Out first is Enzo and Cass, who I liked at the time, but that's before they became insufferable. Like, Big Cass is probably fine, but Enzo, all I see him constantly on Twitter, and it's fucking annoying. And Enzo does his stick, which is cool, and then Cass does his. That's pretty cool. They're the only one that got like a proper like little promo being like, we're gonna climb the ladders, and there's only one word to describe you. The Bar come out and just tear off all their clothes. Sheamus has a huge like cut thing above his eye, out next to the Good Brothers, who are the champions, coming out last. Bit of respect. But then the New Day music hits. Wrong. Then they show a video package being like, oh yeah, they attacked each other with ladders for 2 weeks, so they made it a ladder match. But then the New Day's music hits. Big E comes out and says, there's going to be one more team. And the crowd know they're doing delete chants. Bum, 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 the Hardys. And then Michael Cole says, things are about to be broken, which he was definitely said to say, because they weren't broken, were they? Let's be honest here. They didn't call it, they called it Woken Matt Hardy, which was shit. But yeah, Hardy's return, biggest pop of the night. I'm happy with saying it was the biggest pop of the night after watching our show. So Matt's doing a little bit, ooh, because obviously he got the white in his hair. But Jeff's just doing Team Extreme. And then the bell rings. Big brawl, but Matt and Jeff do all their stuff with poetry, emotion, and a whisper in the wind. People climbing ladders and throwing ladders. It's a big old fucking mess. Cesaro hits like a 2 de gras, effectively, off a ladder. And it's just kind of, yeah, it happens. Big Cass, big boots a ladder. Like, the Cesaro's climbing. And Cesaro, like, lands and, like, the ladder, like, his legs through it. And it's Big Cass has a very good big boot. And he fucking does it to everyone. Matt and Jeff set up a ladder bridge. I wonder what will happen there, Mr. Jeff. And Cass launches Enzo at Luke Gallows. The Bar do their signatures against the Good Brothers. And then Cesaro does a Swiss 1-9, which is funny. Cass is killing people with his big boots at this point. Gallows and Sheamus fight over the belts at the top, but Enzo pushes them off and they get like hit their face against the rope. Sheamus and Gallows powerbomb Cass against the ladder that they've put up in a corner. Anderson and Enzo are fighting at the top of the ladder. Enzo gets thrown off and gets hit with a fucking European uppercut. Matt hits a twist of fate on Gallows off the top of the ladder to Anderson. No, one to Gallows at the bottom and then off the top of the ladder to Anderson. And then Jeff's climbing a big ladder over the ladder bridge to Swanton Bomb. I assume it was meant to be the bar, but it was only Cesaro in the end. Matt gets the belts, new tag team champions, a good plunder match. I like plunder in my wrestling. Some good spots, and but the highlight was their return. 3.5 spoons out of 5. They get some big celebrations, some fireworks, and a lot of delete chants. And at the time, I loved Broken Matt Hardy. Then we see some celebrities, and Jimmy Fallon's there. And now we get the SmackDown announcers back to call the mixed tag match of Nikki Bella and John Cena versus The Miz and Maurice, with Al Roker as a special announcer. I don't know who he is, and I'm not Googling it, but they tell us he's from the NBC show. And it's just an awkward watch because John Cena and Nikki Bella are so not together anymore. And then it shows the video package of The Miz and Maurice dressing as them, which was fucking hilarious. And like, The Miz was so right about Cena and Nikki being fake. And like, it's so weird. The whole thing was built like, Cena doesn't want to marry Nikki, and no, it's age bad. And then Lawler's on commentary, and I thought there were going to be 4 voices, but Otunga went away, thank God. Aoka came out and got booed. and you just announce them for some fuck of a reason. And then Miz and Maurice come out together, same song, or Lovey or whatever. And then we see all the like foreign commentary announcers, and there's like nine, like 8 or 9 of them. Al Roker then just says Miz looks weird, which is just shit. Nikki comes out and does her little, oh, you can look, but you can't touch. Cena then comes up by himself. And how are they the faces? The Miz is right. And then King on commentary for this match is probably an international war crime. Like, god damn, King. He makes jokes about him having loads of marriages. And then it starts. Nikki and Maurice start, but Maurice instantly tags out, and everyone's cheering for the Miz. Like, he does some taunts in the corner. Everyone's going like, "Fuck yeah, Miz, you're great." And then Cena chases Miz around the ring. Miz taunts again. The crowd's chanting, "Miz is awesome." And we're like 5 minutes in now, and it's fucking ass. The match was ass. Lawler makes terrible jokes because he's a fucking old man. He makes a joke about Maurice coming home in lingerie. He should be shot, shouldn't he? Miz does a very good DDT. I like Miz's DDTs. He does them well for a good near fall. The crowd is dead and I was bored. Miz does the yes chant and the yes kicks, and the crowd are loving it. But then Nikki slaps the Miz, which I'm pretty sure, from my knowledge of WWE 13, that would be a disqualification. Nikki hits Miz with a suicide dive, and I'm just bored. Nikki and Cena then do the 5 knuckle shuffle, double AA. Well, no, I think the way Nikki does it, it's more like a cutter type of thing. I think they call it the rack attack. But I thought the rack attack, she just like drops on her knees and like, on the shoulders. Then that's the pin. It was 9 minutes and 40 seconds and shit. 1.5 spoons out of 5. And then Cena proposes. Oh, and it just takes so long. It was just bollocks. It was utter bollocks. Like, who is this bit for? I showed it to my girlfriend, who's she likes reality TV and stuff like that, and she didn't give a shit. And I'm a wrestling fan, and I don't give a shit. So like, why is it on Mania? And like, if they got rid of this, some of the other matches could easily have got like the proposal. I guess you have to have the match, whatever, or have the proposal as well. Take a couple minutes off the match. We didn't need the Miz doing taunts for 2 minutes, and Cena chasing him for a minute. Like, I was bollocks, wasn't it? And it's just silly. And then Cole calls it a WrestleMania moment. No fucking shit, Michael. Honest to God. I'd say we're probably about halfway through this 5-hour show now. I think we're about halfway through. And to be honest, I love wrestling. Too long. Like, we're like 5 hours in. No, 5 hours in, Jesus Christ. Like, a 5-hour show is insane. I'm pretty sure it was 5 hours. Yeah. And so far, the highlight has been Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles and the return of Matt and Jeff Hardy, which was very good. But, like, the women's match needed way more time. The Cena shit was awful. I mean, the first 2 matches were quite good. The Fatal 4-Way was good, but it was like 12 minutes for a fucking 4-way elimination match. Then we had the Nikki Bella John Cena bollocks, which really, besides the next match, which is Triple H Seth Rollins, is like the start of the end of the show being objectively good. As I just alluded to, next match is an unsanctioned match right in the middle of the card, so it clearly is sanctioned. Fucking AEW, I'm not trying to compare the companies because I know people don't like that on the internet, but AEW doing the unsanctioned match of Swerve and Hangman right at the end makes sense, because we don't want this match to happen. You can go, like, turn the lights out and stuff, but having it slap bang middle of the card to kayfabe reasons doesn't work. Anyway, and it's going to be such a funny juxtaposition of the romantic bollocks we just watched, and it's a very good video package because Trips and Seth have fucking loads of history, but the pictures of Triple H, like the little vignettes in the whole video package of him with his skull helmet and motorbikes and leather, is just fucking uncool. And his throne, like, he's a baby face now because he fixed WWE. Then Triple H comes out first on his shit trike with his police escort, and it's utter bollocks. Like, and then he goes around the ring, goes like faces back towards where he came. Like, this makes sense, to be fair, coming out on a vehicle because of how long away the thing was. But he stands there and he's going like an asshole. And anyway, he's just a tool. Seth comes out with his old theme without the burn it down shout, which I like that addition of the burn it down shout. I like his old theme. And he's not going, but you know, whatever. And he's just fucking badass. He comes out less badass because he has the Olympic torch effectively, and it's an unsanctioned match. I'd bring that to the ring. I'd say, Trips, you're gonna lie down. I'm gonna burn your face. Instantly hockey fight, and Seth's a little bit of selling the knee, not a lot. Then they go into the crowd for all of 40 seconds, and they're doing all this fight. The selling of the knee is not there yet. And then because simply he does 2 suicide dives in a row. If you're like, oh, WWE wouldn't clear me because of how bad my knee is, maybe act it, Seth. I love you, Seth. I'm going to be honest. You're great. But come on, man. 2 suicide dives in a row. And then there's like Triple H got basically no offense. And then they go on the announce table. Triple H hits a DDT as his first like actual move. Triple H is now getting chairs and twatting it off Seth's knee. And to be fair, Trips it understands it. He's doing a lot of knee-based offense. Triple H goes for a superplex, but then does a sunset. Then Seth reverses that into a sunset flip of how he injured his knee, but it buckles. But then Seth just hits a buckle bomb a couple minutes later. And then there's a big Irish whip, putting Seth outside, who then hits a crossbody off the top rope. Rollins gets a chair, and then a second chair, and then a table. He sets the table up. Seth hits a frog splash, effectively just to Triple H's ass, which is funny. And then Hunter Pillmanizes Rollins' knee with that chair. H goes to jump from the top rope, but Rollins launches the chair at Hunter, and then hits a Falcon Arrow for a pretty good near fall. Steph's getting involved and pulls Seth off the top rope, and Triple H puts Seth in a knee bar. And then we see the table. I wonder what's going to happen to the table. More knee bars. Rollins gets a sledgehammer, and basically he's just like getting things out from under it. But the way he like throws a sledgehammer effectively at Triple H is quite funny. And some down kicks, knees, and then a double down. Steph is shouting on match, which is off-putting, but it's meant to be. She's the heel. Seth gets the hammer, and Seth steals it from behind. Then Triple H hits the pedigree for a very good near fall. Hunter goes for a super pedigree, but Seth backdrops him off, hits a Phoenix Splash for another good 2 count, and then that could be the finish. But it can't be. There's a table, Seth. What are you doing? You know there's a table. I'm pretty sure you set it up. Then there are like 5 pedigree reversals in a row, which is kind of cool. But then it looks like Stephanie's going to go through the table. Seth hits a pedigree for the win. Stephanie had gone through the table by then. I don't know why I didn't write that down. It was a pretty long match, 23 odd minutes at Mania, Triple H. But you know, some decent spots. 3.5 spoons out of 5. And there's a Mick Foley ad thing, and what he does is like, it's funny, but why is it still there? And he makes a joke about how he's going to do a whole show talking about the best of Al Snow, which is rough for Al Snow. And it's the bit everyone goes to see WrestleMania for, the concert of Steve Marley. And I love Pitbull, but I'd have rathered the women's match coming on later go more than 6 minutes. It was a 6-person match, and it's not even a minute per person. It's a bit late now to say do better. It was 8 years ago nearly. But anyway, Steve Marley sings in silence. Pitbull comes in as a very minor pop. Lunch Money Lewis comes out and they sing the theme. Florida comes out, I assume because it was in Florida, I think. Pretty sure it was in Florida. It's for a sympathy pop, and then, oh no. It's time for Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. I love Bray Wyatt. Rest his soul. I loved this, and I was so happy when Bray won the Elimination Chamber. Because I thought, oh my god, actually going to push him to the moon, make up for how they fucked him over at WrestleMania against Taker. He should have won that. He should have beaten the streak. Fuck your Brock Lesnar's. Bray should have beaten the streak. And I was like, they're going to make him a main eventer. He's going to retain against Randy Orton at WrestleMania. The video package is very cool. And I think it's because I was a child at the time and nostalgia. But Randy's standing there just like, I've burnt your house down, Bray, you little bitch. Was cool. And Bray comes out first. He's the champion, the WWE champion. And I mean, he has a better entrance as well. Because it's all black and it's just a very slow song and got all the fireflies. But you know, wrestling got a wrestling. I say Vince got a Vince. And yeah, WWE champion's out first. Not main eventing, mind. He's out first anyway. Randy walks down on his massive sperm. If you've seen it, you know it. He tries to walk down on a snake, but fuck, it just looks like a massive spunk cell. And because of how it is now, no one's singing this song because the French did that at Backlash. Now everyone does it, but they weren't doing it. And then Tom Phillips also announces the hashtag. He says that it's the hashtag WWE Championship match. Randy goes for quite an early RKO, but Bray shoves him down and kicks him, whatever. And then it's the maggots. Oh, it's the maggots. Fucking awful. And then I'm just sad. And then a couple moves for a minute, and then worms. Why did they fuck you over? They've never done very well. But then it's John O'Clock. I would do it loud, but a friend downstairs is asleep, and the walls in this house aren't thick, and the people next to me probably don't hear me scream John O'Clock motherfuckers at 9:30 in the morning on a Saturday. But JBL says the place is in shock and quiet because of shock. It's bullshit. That is a lie. The reason they're silent is because, what the fuck are you doing? It's shit. The Bray hits a Sister Abigail against the barricade. Randy hits an RKO on Bray outside the ring. And the crowd is silent. It's so cold. The crowd is stone cold silent at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship match. Randy's pretending to go for a punt. He's not going to hit a punt, is he? And then he does his draping DDT. Randy does an RKO taunt thing, but Bray hits his Sister Abigail, but Randy kicks out. And it's cockroaches. For fuck's sake. RKO win. Bray lost. He only held the title for 2 months because he won it at Chamber, didn't he? That was a boring match. It was a terrible decision and it was fucking shit. 1 spoon out of 5. Honestly, this pissed me off. And then we see a replay of the planes that flew over at the start and the pilots. Now it's time for the Universal title match of Brock Goldberg. Now I'm going to be honest. When I got into wrestling, the first big thing that happened was Goldberg squashing Brock at Survivor Series. So I liked this. This was all before we knew about the Brock Lesnar lawsuit thing, and we saw that Goldberg wasn't doing it for the fans. He was just a dick. But then we see the video package, and the video package is fucking cool because it's Heyman. It's like that. I think it's Inside the Ropes interview he does, where he's talking about how it's this old gunslinger that could maybe, just maybe, have one more bullet left. Oh, I like me some Paulie Dangerously, Anyway, and then the match is going to be a mad sprint. It's going to be great. Brock's out first, which makes sense. He's not the fucking WWE champion, is he? Goldberg's out, and we see him going like a fool. And he has a big red circle on his head, probably because he, tried to give himself a concussion. And Heyman does his announcement for Brock, and it's over with the crowd. But Goldberg getting booed a bit. I don't know what the fuck was happening with the fans, because I'm pretty sure Goldberg would have been the face. Match starts. 3 German suplexes, 2 spears. That's literally it. Spear through a barricade. Goldberg puts Brock in the ring, goes for the jackhammer, which reversing the F5 position, which he gets out of. Spear, jackhammer in an air fall. Brock leapfrogs another spear. 7 Germans in a row, meaning 10 in total, which the crowd love because, Ty Dillinger at the time. 10, 10, 10, 10. F5 win. Less than 5 minutes, but pretty decent. 3.25 spoons. And then we see don't see this try this at home clip, which I'd forgotten about because I don't do that anymore. And it was so much nostalgia because it was like, this was the one I watched when I was watching Raw and SmackDown. Now it's time for the six-pack SmackDown Women's title match. Again, Bliss comes out first, who is the champion. Why do they not know how to do entrances? Then Becky, then Mickey, then Carmella with James Ellsworth, Natalia and Naomi. And it's like, they don't even get to do the full entrance. They get like 3/4 of the way down the ring. So that probably means something overran. And I'm willing to bet it was, Triple H going 23 minutes or John Cena taking 6 minutes to propose or proposing at all, because I'm pretty sure their relationship was ending by then anyway. Bollocks. So there's a lot of shouting in this match. And Becky's got her like dreadlock braids things and a big thick white line across her face, and it's all bright orange, her hair, which just looks a bit shit. Ellsworth goes for the no chin music on Becky. Alexa's trying to keep control of the ring. There's a sunset flip and German suplex spot, which looks pretty cool. Then Natalia puts people in the double sharpshooter. A lot of quick pin attempts, but Naomi takes control. Naomi puts Bliss into a submission and she taps. It was so short. Fucking no reason why. Like, literally, it was 5 minutes 35 for the SmackDown Women's Championship. 1.5 spoons. Ad for WrestleMania 34, and that's in New Orleans. New Day are out again. They announce another attendance number, which is almost definitely a work. And then we see Taker versus Roman. Before Roman was cool. Good, very good package. But Roman comes out to, as I explained to my friend, Hitler level reactions. Like, he's being booed like in Mussolini. But the JR comes out. Roman comes out and gets a reaction if he was Savile. And it's a no holds bar, which I don't remember at the time. But clearly it was. Taker's entrance, because of course it does, takes about 6 minutes. Very slow fighting in and around the ring. And then, then Roman hits a drive-by on Taker outside Bouye spot. Roman goes for another drive-by, but then Taker just fucking punches him out the air. Taker clears the announce table. Taker chokeslams Reigns onto a different announce table. Taker then clears a third table, and Taker gets speared through that third table, and they're both down. And then Roman gets in the ring and stood there. I'm thinking, I don't know if it's just this, but he looks so much less cool with his little fucking bulletproof vest on. Taker does his sit-up spot in the corner after Roman shouts at him. Because there's a lot of shouting in this match. Taker being like, this is my yard. And Roman being like, no, this is my yard. Roman stomps Taker and everyone's booing. Then Taker tries to hit a really bad last ride. Like, it's effectively just a powerbomb. For a 2 count, Taker grabs a chair. Roman hits a few Superman punches, but the third's reversal chokeslam onto said chair. Taker then hits a tombstone. And Roman Reigns just kicks out. This is before Roman was cool, guys. Come on. Taker goes for another, but it's a bit botchy because, like, they do the bit where, like, Roman tries to flip, so he's then going to hit him in the pile driver, but it's just bad. He hits 2 punches for a 2 count. Roman goes for the spear, hits it, but as he's, like, hitting it, Taker puts Roman into Hell's Gate. Reigns gets out of the submission, hits Roman with a chair, hits Taker with the chair, sorry. Roman hits a spear for a 2 count. Roman hits another spear for an air fall, another Superman punch. Taker sits up, collapses, another spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns be Undertaker at WrestleMania. And it's just like, the streak's over. Why would you do it again, And at the time, I was like, okay, this is bad because Taker just lost at Mania again. But I'm thinking in my head, oh, they're going to turn him heel. They have to turn him heel. We've been asking for them to turn him heel for 4 years now. They've got to do it. And it's just a sad end. Roman gets all his fireworks. Then Taker does his sad little retirement striptease and goes and gives his missus a kiss. And I'm thinking, okay, Undertaker's retired now. Let's pretend he did, guys. Because I don't want to think about Saudi Arabia. I don't want to think about it. It's just sad. And he should have retired here. He should have done. The match wasn't too bad. It was 2 out of 5. 2 spoons out of 5. But I think that's mainly because Roman won. A decent Mania overall. We're doing the wrap up here. Decent Mania overall. but it kind of fell off the rails a bit. In hindsight, after the tag title match, the best match was Shane and AJ. And it was the first Mania of me being a wrestling fan, so it actually means quite a bit to me, this Mania. I remember most of it, like the matches and stuff, and I remember the Hardys was cool. I loved the Hardys. But anyway, overall, because of the very bad matches near the end, not always to the wrestlers' fault. Like if the women had another, I don't know, more than 6 fucking minutes, it could have been a very good match. But they didn't, did they? So overall, the show gets a rating of 2.67 spoons. So that has been the WrestleMania 33 review. Let's go to the wheel to see what we will be reviewing next. So here we are. We're at the wheel. We have 816 things we could watch. Because, it's watch 2 of the 818. Let's see what it is. I'm hoping not to get another WWE thing. But if we get another WWE thing, we'll be fine, We'll live, we'll move, we'll prosper. We'll get 2 views, whatever it is. Let's see what we get. Ooh, No Surrender 2006. I think that's TNA. And you're about to see me on the thumbnail thing in 1 second day. I was right. No Surrender is TNA. Let's see what's on the card. I don't watch a single TNA match, let alone TNA pay-per-view. So let's see. So No Surrender 2006. Ooh, that's a lot of gimmicks. Okay. Oh, I'll get. Fucking hell. So I think it's an 8-match card, which will be fun, get me into some TNA. It looks quite short as well, which isn't a bad thing. All the attendance was 900 people. I guess it's in the impact zone, isn't it? Anyway, I'll see you next time for this review of No Surrender 2006. I hope you've enjoyed this review of WrestleMania 33. Hope you're enjoying the series. All 0 people that have seen this and seen the last one. The intro video has 1 view. It's great. You can even tell what this is after because I've got new posters up. I've even got a fucking Beatles one, lads. Anyway, I've been Keith Spoon. You've been the Spoon Nation. Thank you for watching this wrestling review. I'll see you in the No Surrender 2006 review. Like, comment, subscribe. Go away. P.S. If you're watching this on the day this video has been released, at midnight I'm going to live stream watching Saturday night's main event. Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye.